Hello, algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here, and we're going to do a couple more mixture problems to help you get through your current homework assignment. So let's get down to it so that this doesn't take too long. The first problem is, I'll read it in case you're watching on a device where it's too small to read. Fiona invests $4,000, part in an account that pays 10% interest, and the rest in an account that pays 12% interest. If she earned a total of $460 in interest, how much money had she invested in each account? Well, in this one, I'm going to define my variables, and I'm going to say let x equal the money invested at 10%, and then y is going to be the money invested at 12% interest. Okay. And I'm actually think I might use a different approach on this one, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and do it. Um, so I should have my first equation. I'm going to have x dollars plus y dollars invested, and that's going to equal a total of $4,000. Okay, now, how much interest does she get from the first account? Well, she gets 10%. So 0.10x plus 0.12y, and that's going to equal a total of $460. The interest from the first account plus the interest from the second account equals the total interest. Now, I really like to do these by substitution, but I could see how you might want to do this one by elimination. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll do it by elimination. And I'm going to multiply by 0.10 on both sides. And that'll turn my blue equation into this point. Oh, I should do it by a negative, shouldn't I? Yeah. Okay, so it'll give me negative 0.10x minus 0.10y, and that'll equal negative $400, right? Okay. Now, I'm going to combine and get 0.02y and $60, right? And so I'm going to divide by 0.02. All right, hold on one second. I wanted to check something. I was just doing a little mental math. I was thinking to myself, 60 divided by 0.01 would equal $6,000. Okay, and so therefore 60 divided by 0.02, I'm dividing by twice as much, and so my answer would be half the amount, should be $3,000. And I checked that on a calculator, so I'm getting that Fiona put y is going to equal $3,000. Um, now, if she invested $3,000, I know that x plus 3,000 has to equal 4,000, and that would mean that the amount invested in the other account was $1,000. Okay, I can always check that multiplying 3,000 by 0.12, 3,000, times 0.12, that gives me $360. And if I do 1,000 times 0.10, which of course is going to be 100, and 360 plus 100 is 460, which is what I expected. Okay, very good. So I should get a dollar sign on here. So she put $1,000 in the 10% account and 3,000 in the 12% account. All right, let's look at the next example. Another mixture problem. MX Melt Labs needs to make 500 gallons of a 34% acid solution. The only solutions that they have on hand are a 25% acid solution and a 50% acid solution. How many gallons of each should be mixed together to produce the desired mixture? Well, I'm going to let X equal the gallons of 25% solution. I'm going to let Y equal the gallons of 50% solution. And my first equation is going to be x plus y, and that's going to equal 500. Well, my second equation, I need the amount of acid. Well, I'll get 0.25, 25% of x, plus 50% of y, and that's going to equal 0.34 times the 500. See, this is the actual amount of acid. If I take the solution I pour in, the number of gallons, and multiply by a quarter, by 25%, I get the actual amount that is acidic. If I take the gallons from the other container, multiply it by 0.50 or by a half, I get the actual amount of acid. And so here I take the total number of gallons and multiply by the percentage and get the total amount of acid. Now I'm going to do this one by substitution. And I like to multiply by a half more than I like to multiply by a quarter. So I'm going to solve for y. So y is going to equal 500 minus x. So I'm going to substitute it in, 0.25x plus 0.50, 0.34. Oh, I should multiply that out. Sorry. Let me write this in here, 500 minus x. And let me see, 10% of 50, of 500, 10% of 500 would be 50. So that makes 30% up to 150, right? 1% would be 5. Yeah, I agree with that. So 4% would be 20, because 1 times 4 is 4, and 4 times 5 is 20. And so 30 and 4 is 34. So it looks like we have 170 here. I believe that's going to be 170. Now, if you're not sure, you can double check on a calculator. 0.34 times 500. Yep, and it's 170. I'm encouraging you to try some of these math tricks. The more you try them, the easier they will get, and the better your understanding of math will be. Okay, I'm going to need half of 500, which would be 250, and then minus 0.50x. And that'll equal 170. I'm going to combine my like terms, which are, where are my highlighters? I don't know where my highlighters are anymore because they changed. There we go. So I've got this term here and this term here, which are like terms. At the same time, I can subtract 250 from both sides, right? Okay, give myself a little more room to work with here. And back to my pen. Oh, do I have a calligraphy pen? Oh, how cool is that? Oh boy, I'm so excited. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so I'm going to get a negative 0.25x, or actually negative a quarter. And that's going to equal, I believe, a negative 80, right? Okay, that's actually too thick of a calligraphy pen. I wonder if that one's better. Ooh, it's just fancy schmancy. Oh, there we go. Okay, so if I divide by a quarter, that's the same as multiplying by 4. I think x is going to be 4 times 80, which will be 320 gallons. Okay, if that's the case, I need to take that away from 500. 500 minus 320, and I'll get 180. So then y is going to equal 180 gallons. I love my calligraphy pen. If I want, I can check my math. I can do 0.25 times 320 plus 0.50 times 180. And let's see what that equals. All right. 320 plus 0.5 times 180. And that's going to be 170. And that's what it should be. Remember, I got 170 right there. I did it correctly. All right, one last problem. The sum of the two digits of a two-digit number is 9. Okay, well, what does that mean? Hold on one second here. What that means is we're going to define variables. We're going to let t be the tens digit. So let t equal the tens digit, and then we're going to let u equal the ones digit. If you're wondering why I didn't use an O, you should think about it. It makes sense. It looks too much like a 0. Okay, then my 2-digit number is going to be 10t plus u, right? Okay, now I'm told that the number, the sum of the 2 digits is 9. So I'm going to do t plus u, and that's got to equal 9. But then I'm also told that the number is 6 times the units digit. So that means this 2-digit number, this 10t plus u, is equal to 6 times the units digit. All right. There we go. There's my equation. Now you may want to go ahead and simplify this equation here. Pardon me 1 second. And get, that's a plus there. Okay, we're going to get 10t minus 5u, and that's going to equal 0. What did I do? I subtracted 6u from both sides. Oops. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and solve this. Oh, I guess for t. So t will equal 9 minus u. All right. I'm going to substitute this in here. So I'm going to do 10 times the quantity of 9 minus u minus 5u. That'll equal 0. So it'll be 90 minus 10u minus 5u. That'll equal 0. So 90 minus 15u, that will equal 0. So then I can say 90 is equal to 15u. I'm going to divide by 15. And I know 2 15s make 30. 3 30s make 90. 2 times 3 is 6. So the answer must be 6. Well, if the units digit is 6, and then the tens digit must be 3. Yeah. No, something's wrong. Yeah, no, that's right. Okay, so then the t is going to equal 3. And so my number is 36. Now let's check it. What's 6 times the ones digit? 6 times 6, 36. And there we go. It's equal. All right, that's your lesson for the weekend. See if you can't get those problems done. I didn't do any age ones because I figured you know how to do those already. And we'll get some more practice with this next week. Remember, we're looking at a test probably Wednesday or Thursday. I know there's a Christmas concert. I'm going to make sure it doesn't interfere. All right, Mr. Lawrence signing off. Good night, everybody.